Hello, I'm Bobby Ramirez, and this is the fourth edition of Beginner Flute on the Beginning Flute series for beginners. So if you've been following along, the last video that we did, the third video, we started working on the first lesson in the Rumbach Elementary Method book. Okay, that's this book right here. I'm sure you saw it, but I'll show it to you again. Rumbach Elementary Method. Okay, so I'm presuming that you've been practicing lesson 1 through 5, okay, diligently. You know, remember everything and nothing. There's no magic button to everything. All of a sudden, you can play flute or you can do anything. You know, boom, turn on the light. You're a master on the flute. No. It's like growing a plant. You know, you gotta put water on it. You know, so every day, little by little. Yeah, the more you practice, the better you get. The quicker you advance. So practice diligently. You know, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour every day. Lesson 1 through 5. But now we're about to go on to lesson 6 to 9. Okay, so we are dealing with let's see, C, B, A, and G. That's 4 notes, so that's what we're dealing with. So lesson number 6 on the number 6 as part of page number as part of lesson 1. So here we go. Play with me, okay? Again, we're using the metronome. Put it at 60, and here we go. You're gonna play with me. So the first measure we got a C, the second measure we got a B, the third measure we got an A, and the fourth measure we got a G. Then it repeats the G, goes back to the A, B, and then ends with the C. The difference between these this pattern right here, this scales, is that before you had rests in between notes, but now you don't. So you got to take a big breath and try to breathe between, you know, play 2 notes and then breathe every 2 notes. Okay, so you'll see what I mean. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, so you saw that I was breathing every 2 measures, and then we played the first measure C, B, A, you know, and straight through. Okay, so if you've been working on the first 5 measures, you know, your muscles are starting to develop already, so you should be able to sustain 2 notes, you know, and then take a big breath and continue on with the second, the second, a couple more measures and so on. So, all right, so we're going to repeat number 6, all right, and you're going to play with me. So here we go. Maybe the other thing is, if 60 is too fast for you, maybe lower it down a little bit. Okay, and do it at a slower number and breathe every measure. If you just can't reach to this breathing through to 2 measures, just kind of like breathe every measure. All right, here we go. Do it again. Number 6. Play with me. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. right. So that is number 6 as part of lesson 1. And now we're going to go to number 7. Now this, the first measure is C, and then jumps to G. Then the next measure is B, and jumps to G. A, then G, then B, then C. So it's kind of like a little mix, okay? So the first 5 lessons enable you to learn how to play those notes, essentially. And now that you know how to play those notes, it mixes it up a little bit, all right? So if you're still a little confused with the note and the fingering, just go back and practice each note, you know, and try to memorize it. And if you you see how the first 3 lessons there, on the first measure, it puts the name of the note right on top of the measure, like G is the first one. So but that doesn't happen like after on the 6th lesson. You know, there's no names of any note, but you can write in, like for instance, I'll say we're on number 7. Okay, you know that's a C. Write in C with a pencil, you know, and write each note so you can actually see it. Okay, that's a C. That's a and that's a good idea because you'll see the position on the note on the staff, and it'll help you remember, oh, what's the name of that note, okay? So here we go. Remember, breathe from your diaphragm, okay? Very important. I'm going to be sounding like a broken record because breathing from the diaphragm is critical. You'll find that if you breathe from your lungs, you're not going to have enough air. Your air is just going to run out quickly. But you breathe from your diaphragm, you hold the air in there, and then when you're ready to, boom, it just, you know, let it flow, you know, fluently and slow. Okay? Okay, here we go. Lesson number 7. Number 7. Got the metronome at 60. Play with me. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. All right, steady flow of air. The notes are coming out evenly, and you're breathing from your diaphragm, right? Okay, let's do it again. Number 7, play with me. Here we go. Are you ready? Yes, let's do it. Take a big breath into your diaphragm, and we go. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, so yeah, you're breathing from your diaphragm, and you feel it right there, right? So that's the way it's supposed to go. Even airflow, even notes, okay? So we're going to go now to number 8, and that's a little different. Let's see, yeah, it's they mix up the notes a little bit, so by this time they're thinking, well, you should be learning these notes by heart. So still, if you don't know the notes, number 8, for instance, write the name of the note right on top of the staff. The first one is C, write C with a pencil. The second one is G, write G. The third one is A. The fourth one is G. The fifth one is B. Then it goes to A, G, and C. Okay, so you write them down. That's okay. I mean, eventually you'll start knowing the notes by heart, okay? So, number 8, here we go. Are you ready? All right. We got the method going. Take a big breath right into your diaphragm. And here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Yeah, you're starting to feel it because if you, your embouchure is coming together. So if you can't make it to the note or whatever, it's just a question of continuing to practice. Remember, we're in this period where we're strengthening our embouchure, our, our breathing. All these muscles are working. So we're in this period. In fact, it never ends, because after more than 40 years of playing flute, you're always focusing and strengthening the muscles or maintaining the muscles, because if you stop playing for a while, then your muscles will lag, and then you got to get back into it, especially the flute, especially the embouchure. The flute is one of those things that you got to play it, every day or as much as possible, every other day or whatever. I'm not sure what the person's schedule is, but if you stop playing for a week, for 3 or 4 days, you'll feel it. I feel it. I stopped playing for 2 days and like, I gotta get back. I gotta get back into doing sustained tones and just to maintain the muscles, and strengthening, continuing to strengthen the muscles. Okay, so we're gonna repeat number 8. Play with me. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, number 8. Go. All right, number 8. I think you did well. What do you think? So, all right. So continuing on to number 9. Okay, number 9 again. They're mixing up the notes. So again, if you look at the note, the first note is G, the second note is C, the third note is A. Then go back to C. Next is B. Next is A, G, and C. Okay. So again, write the name of the note right on top of the staff. That way you'll start associating that when you look at that particular note on that position of the staff. Oh yeah, that's a G or this. So this whole page, lesson 1, we're just dealing with 4 notes. Those are your first 4 notes. I think there's a lot of songs that you can do with 4 notes, and if I'm not mistaken, but I can't think of one right now. But I'm sure I will. All right. Anyway, here we go. Now, number 9, going on the metronome. Are you ready? Play with me. We start with the G, number 9. Ready? 1, 2, ready, play. All right, so that's number 9. I mean, for a beginner, this is pretty hard stuff. This is, going to the gym, and like, okay, I'm gonna start lifting weight. Literally, it's like that, Yeah, oh my God, I can't lift 10 pounds, because these muscles are just not developed, and the embouchure. I'm able to like flow through the notes, all because I have my, obviously the embouchure, but the diaphragm is super developed. So initially, the big emphasis is on what really is going to propel you to sustain those notes like that is the embouchure, period. Okay, because you take in air and you hold it there, and you blow air into the hole, and add pressure, push with your diaphragm, and regulate the air that comes through, and then as a result, the note comes out fluently. Woo, you regulate the air, enough pressure to hit that note, but not too much pressure, because on the flute, if you add more pressure, then you're going to get a high note, okay? A higher note, maybe an octave or something like. See? But the lower notes take in a certain amount of air, and that's why we start with the lower notes, because it's less concentrated pressure from the diaphragm. And as we develop, as we get stronger, our muscles get stronger, our diaphragm gets stronger. You're able to. We'll go to the next register of notes, and then ultimately, the high notes. Okay, so all right, so exercise number 9. Here we go. Now we start with a G, C, A, C, B, A, G, C. All right, are you ready? Play with me. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Yeah. So, and again, when you play, remember, now you know more or less the position of each note. Okay. So as you're fingering each note, let's say you finger the A and then you go to the G, you don't go like that with your finger. You let the finger just up and let it relax on the key. Okay. And this hand is not doing anything. You're just basically holding out the flute like that, but you're not like that. You're not doing this. Okay, you just have the fingers on the keys relaxed, not doing anything. Okay, so that is critical. Okay, because that eventually, when you start doing that, you discipline your hand, your fingers to do that constantly and all the time. You're able to develop technique even quicker. Okay, so I've seen guys that people that been playing for 2 or 3 years, 5 years, they're like boom, 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 boom. They're doing all kinds of these things, and like, hey, don't anybody tell you that? But from watching people play and years of experience, it's one of my things, to train. When I'm playing any kind of music, just think about the muscles, think about the position of the hands. If there's a certain pattern that is too technical, and I'll just take it slow, but I make sure that the keys, the fingers are always resting on the keys as much as possible. Less movement as possible. So okay, one more time. Number 9. Are you ready? All right. Turn on the metronome. See. And here we go. The first note is G. Are you ready? Play with me. 1, 2, ready, play. All right. That's it for these lessons. Now again, if you're going through the lessons through each note, okay, and you're you cannot make it to the second measure. You're playing. You can just breathe after every note. Just go. You know, so it is what it is until you start developing. You know, basically you're still working on the third lesson, which is 1 through 5, and then eventually you'll start working on from 6 to 9, and then you're able to do just like I did it. You know, every 2 measures you breathe, every 2 measures you breathe. Okay, so again, not just breathing through your nose or through your, through your lungs. Breathe from your diaphragm. All right. I know you're gonna do awesome. Just focus. Everything, playing flute or anything in life starts with a mindset. Okay, if you're determined on learning flute, and say to yourself, every day I become a better flute player. Every day I become a better flute player. Look at how wonderful I play every day. Those are powerful affirmations. You say to yourself, every day I become an awesome flute player. Every day I get better and better on the flute. And sure enough, you develop the willpower and the drive to persevere. And you'll be able to become an awesome flute player. Only because it starts with the mind. If you believe it, in other words, if you have faith in your ability to excel, to become a high achiever on whatever you want to be in life, it will happen. Period. All right. So I'm Bobby Ramirez. Hit the like button. Share this video with your friends and subscribe to the channel. And I thank you, and I hope this video is helpful. And I'll see you in the next video.